Tony Rizzo is not just upset because of one coaching decision. His anger comes from years of watching this franchise circle the same drain, and now he finally has a face and a moment to pin it on. In his eyes, Kevin Stefanski did not simply wait too long to start a rookie quarterback. He mismanaged an entire season, squandered the best defense Cleveland has seen in decades, and insulted the intelligence of a fan base that understands exactly what it witnessed the moment Shadur Sanders stepped under center. Rizzo is voicing what countless Browns fans feel deep in their bones. This was not a lack of options. This was not a roster problem. This was not a talent deficit. This was a failure of courage. The coaching staff chose comfort and familiarity over upside and potential until reality forced their hand. Only when their season was effectively burned down to the foundation did they finally reach for the one spark that could have changed their fate long ago. What makes this situation even more damning is how quickly everything shifted once Shadur got his chance. One game. That is all it took for the entire atmosphere of this franchise to change. Before his debut, games felt like a slow march toward disappointment. The defense would drag the team along with superhuman efforts while the offense sputtered, stalled, and collapsed at the worst possible times. After Shadur took the field, suddenly the sideline was alive. The body language of the receivers changed. The linemen blocked with a different urgency because they knew their work would actually mean something. The defense, unmistakably, played with a freedom they had not shown all season. 10 sacks is not just chaos. It is a defense unleashed, confident that one mistake will not erase 50 perfect snaps, that one big play allowed will not doom the entire afternoon. That kind of transformation is not random. It is the effect of believing for the first time that the offense will do its job. Rizzo is not blind to the nuances. He knows Shadur is still a rookie. He knows there will be rough games, bad decisions, and learning curves. But the point he hammers home is simple. You cannot evaluate a player who is never given a real chance. You cannot claim you are searching for answers while your best possible answer is stuck on the bench holding a clipboard. Stefanski and the staff chose to ride with safe, limited options that capped the ceiling of the entire team. They chose quarterbacks who could not threaten defenses vertically, who could not stretch the field, who could not flip momentum with a single throw. When Shadur launched that deep shot to Isaiah Bond, it did more than gain yards. It announced that Cleveland finally had someone who could punish a defense for playing aggressive, who could flip field position with his arm alone. For the first time all season, opposing coordinators had to consider the possibility of being burned over the top. That single reality changes how everyone lines up on every snap after that. From Rizzo's vantage point, the idea that the front office is already thinking about drafting another quarterback in 2026, after seeing what Shadur did in his very first start, is proof that the organization still does not get it. The Browns have been addicted to resetting the position for years. Every time something does not work perfectly right away, they blow it up and start over. That is how you burn through nearly 100 starting quarterbacks in a generation. That is how you waste prime defensive talent, star careers, and fan patience. To even whisper about drafting another first-round passer while this kid has barely taken a handful of real snaps feels like an insult to the very idea of development. Rizzo knows that true franchise quarterbacks are not found by accident. They are grown. They are shaped by reps, trust, and time. For once, Cleveland has an opportunity to stop chasing the next thing and instead pour their energy into the player already in the building. The dreadful part of this story is how familiar it feels. Cleveland has had talent before. They have had flashes of hope before. Every few years, a new name appears under center, a new scheme is installed, a new mantra is preached. Then the same pattern repeats. Poor offensive planning, panic under pressure, early abandonment of struggling young players, and another quick trip back to the draft board. Rizzo is effectively drawing a line in the sand with this moment. He is saying that this cannot be just another chapter in the same old book. If Shadur Sanders goes out against San Francisco, takes his lumps, and still shows the ability to make big-time throws, to lead drives, to give this elite defense a reason to keep swinging, then the Browns have no excuse left. Their path forward is simple. Commit, build, adjust the scheme to what he does best. Accept that some Sundays will be ugly, but understand that those are the dues you pay for long-term payoff. What makes Rizzo's rage so powerful is that beneath it, there is genuine excitement. He sees what everyone else sees. The stadium is coming back to life. Fans are texting their friends about tickets. Kids want Shadur jerseys. National media outlets are suddenly talking about the Browns' offense in something other than pitying tones. This is what happens when a team finally shows a pulse on the side of the ball it has ignored for too long. The defense is not the story by itself anymore. It has a partner, a counterpart, a young quarterback who can turn a 3rd and long into a celebration instead of a resignation. And the idea that this energy could have existed all season if not for one coach's hesitation is exactly why Rizzo refuses to let the narrative soften into gratitude. In his view, Cleveland should not just be happy it found something. It should be furious it took this long. The pressure is now squarely on the shoulders of Kevin Stefanski in a way it never has been before. Because now the world has seen what happens when he finally puts a real playmaker under center. There is no more hiding behind excuse language about receivers, playbooks, or timing. Shadur made a difference immediately. The defense responded. The fans responded. The roster responded. If this staff retreats at the first sign of rookie struggles, if they start floating the idea of competition again, if they allow draft whispers to undermine the locker room's growing belief in this kid, then the blame will no longer be abstract. It will have a name and a face. Rizzo is already drawing that connection, and Browns fans are right there with him, tracking every decision from this point forward with a sharper eye than ever before. If the Browns do the right thing and fully lean into this moment, they might finally break a cycle that has haunted them for more than 2 decades. They do not need Shadur Sanders to be perfect next week or the week after that. They need him to be theirs. They need to build around him, ride with him, and show him the same faith they showed in inferior options for far too long. For once, the future does not have to be some hypothetical dream sitting in the next draft class. It can be the player who already turned a hopeless offense into a dangerous one in a single afternoon in Las Vegas. If you are feeling the same mix of excitement and frustration that Tony Rizzo is voicing right now, make sure to hit like and subscribe for more hard-hitting breakdowns just like this. Do you think Kevin Stefanski cost the Browns wins by waiting too long to start Shadur Sanders? And after what you saw in his debut,